Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Everybody is loving last week on Keith and the Girl, Chemda.
Yes, I love it too.
Bianca Brady does a great job summing up the entire week. In fact, if you rate on our forums, hey, I have a question about this guest, blah, blah, blah. Bianca covers it.
Mm-hmm.
She leaves no stone unturned. Her latest show is episode, I'm just reporting, 69.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it covers Keith and the Girl shows 3,116 to 3,120.
I mean, it's no 86, but sure.
Now we have 7 more to go, and then that should do it. If you follow, of course, last week, you know about the Snack Pack Initiative. It's exciting me too much, this little program she has going on at her job. In fact, I donated $10 to it. Keith and the Girl now sponsors the Snack Pack Initiative. Very exciting stuff.
Get that in your VIP package, our premium program, keithandthegirl.com/VIP. It's available in our app also.
Bonus episodes, every episode we've ever done, all 3,120 something.
And Andrea and I are recording a new 2 Drunk Minimum.
Exciting. Mm-hmm. With who? Lucas Connolly.
That's right.
Nice.
Robotussin.
Oh, my God. Oh, my Lord. I want to say thanks to everybody asking, hey, we're hearing you're being evicted from the studio where you record.
Yeah.
How can we help? That's sweet to say. Just spread the Keith and the Girl word. Share your favorite Keith and the Girl shows with people. That's what keeps it going. Between that and our VIP program, that's all we can ask for. We appreciate it very much. Let's see. People are rating about Monday's show, about my girlfriend Kyle. Kyle, you're my hero. Your hospital story brought me out of the shitty mood that I woke up in this morning. Thanks.
Yeah, people yelling at other people is a joy to hear about.
I love Kyle more every time she's on the show. Her social media is also great. If you don't follow her, you should. Xerxes gets no compliments ever because I don't want him to stab me.
I will cut you.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's hot, so I get it. You know.
I have a little hospital update because she took this medicine and got rid of this chest and back pain that was happening all of a sudden. Why we went to the ER the night before. And then they say, it's like, protocol, but they say, all right, we want to do blood work also. Mm-hmm. And she said, no, I'm fine. And they're like insisting. She goes, well, how long will that take? 2 hours or so.
What?
It's not 4 a.m. I was like, no. Okay. Then so she signs out and then she tells her sister the story the next day. And she tells somebody. Who does she tell?
Her sister is a nurse, so that sounds reasonable.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and the sister says, oh no, when you do that, insurance might not cover it because you're saying you're not taking their advice.
What?
Right. So then she calls insurance and everything seems that it's going to be okay. And she says, well, while I'm here, how do I file a complaint against this hospital? And they go, well, because they're in our network, you can. And so she filed a complaint there.
Yes.
Took the time to file the complaint with the hospital. So who knows? Now, the bad news is you don't know about the disciplinary action. I compared it to, fake ordering pizzas to somebody's house, but you never get to know what happened, But she got a little satisfaction.
Yeah, it's no earbuds, but it feels good.
Right. It feels good, and she's not in jail for punching a bitch. So that's real good.
Although, what a story.
She was so close.
And she's so strong. She's like this little fucking firecracker.
Yeah.
It'd be so funny to watch her punch someone because who sees that coming?
Right.
Yeah.
Thing is, I had to work the next day, so I had to stop her. Today's guest performed at Caroline's, featured on NBC, CBS, the Discovery Channel. We matched 99% back in the day on OkCupid. True story. Rachel Green. Hello, Rachel.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm great.
During this little, it was like a year period where I was dating, and I would date multiple people, and I started getting confused whose story was whose. Like I would say to one woman,
I love how confident you say that every time. You're just like, too many women, no idea what I said to who and what they said to me. Do you have 2 sisters, 3 sisters? Listen, I've been on 3 dates this week. It's so funny. Like, I like it because it's like, fuck it. If we're getting confused by human beings, sure. But
well, I'm really not.
Write a note to yourself for fuck's sake.
Well, that's how I would put people in my phone. I would be like, Tony, teacher, OKC.
There you go.
OKC, parents dead. It's,
Right.
It's a long list. I said to a woman,
3 cats.
I said, oh, how was visiting your parents? And they said, oh, my dead parents? And so I stick with that. I'm like, yeah, how'd that go?
Right. You went to the cemetery. You did the memorial.
Whatever you people do.
Right.
You put a rock on.
Oh, my God.
It was too much. How's dating going now? You're a very sex positive person, meaning
Yes.
you don't mind being public about it. You don't mind I'm watching your stand up. You talk about everything. You talk about your breasts.
I do.
You said each breast, one breast, and you, not to spoil this if you're not watching the video, but you have two. Each breast is 13 pounds.
It's a joke.
Is it? I wouldn't know. I'm like, those are at least B's.
I believed you.
Right.
I was like, I heard a drum roll in my head. I was
Yeah.
like, tell me, because I pictured you, like sort of putting them on some sort of.
So I say in the joke, I'm like, oh, so I got curious. I put my titties on the scale. They're 13 pounds each. They don't allow me in the deli anymore. But no, I have a friend who I've made him a promise. He's in California now, helping his family rebuild their house after the fires in California. I made him a promise that when he comes back, we are going to go to Whole Foods and we are going to stick my titties on the scale.
Yes, please videotape
And
that.
of course we're going to tape it.
Yes.
Yeah. They
can
are
we have-
heavy, but I think they're more like, I don't know, 7.
No, don't spoil it. We're gonna guess now.
Oh my God, we should
Okay.
have a guessing game.
And then after you sincerely do that, please come back, and maybe that'll be today's poll. But I'm guessing. I
Can you
wish I
see
could
them on the
feel
camera?
them. Everyone could see them across the street. They could see them. What the fuck is happening?
You can feel them. I mean, well, not right now, but
Can I pick them up with my
Yeah,
hands?
sure.
Keith, talk a little.
Okay. And then it's my turn. I'm sticking with 13 pounds each.
I mean, they're.
I don't. I think that's about what it is.
I gotta say, your bra is amazing.
Oh, the bra's holding them up for
Yeah,
life.
you couldn't.
Oh yeah,
So-
this is one of those. Well, all my bras are like $80 minimum.
Well, you gotta hold a lot
Because
So it's $10 a pound, 8 pounds.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Because there's specialty bras.
Yeah, well, in my size, they
Right.
just the underwire and the material that's required to hold these puppies up is just it's a lot.
Would you be on a date or you're about to have sex and they take the bra off and is it audible? Like even though you can see what's going on, do they go whoa? That ever happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, because I mean, yeah, I mean, you've seen the Instagram probably. I mean, they're when you have them actually like in or on your face, it's quite an experience.
Oh,
And
yeah.
even for me, there's like moments because like I don't know, they're on me, so it's like I know they're huge, but like
Right.
there's been like an occasional moment where like, what was it? I don't know. It was like a weird shot that I got in the mirror, and I was like, oh, I have the scent. Like I got it. Oh, I know what it was. I took a weird selfie for like I was sexting with someone,
Right.
and I just sort of laid there and then sort of pushed them up to like my face,
I do that with my dick. Yeah.
and
It's all angles.
and in that picture I was like, wow, what the fuck? Like I was just like, I was like, holy shit.
Well, I picture like if you're on top, your boobs get there before you do.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'll show you guys.
Like you could be sitting up and your boobs are still on his chest.
Oh.
Do you have to register them as lethal weapons like Bruce Lee's hands?
No, it's funny because it's legal to be topless in New York, but I would still get a ticket.
Not for you.
I would get a ticket for a public disturbance.
Cars are crashing, fire hydrants exploding.
But then
Although-
how big are your nipples? Why am I touching my
Okay,
boobs?
this is what I do. I inspire people. No, my nipples themselves are not very big. My areolas are gigantic.
Okay, I always forget that there's a difference. To me, it's the whole
Well,
circumference.
yeah, because people will see them and they'll be like, because I go to the nude beach, right? And people are like, "Whoa,
Where's the nude beach?
I go to Fire Island. I go
that's
to
far.
I go to Cherry Grove.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, people. Be
Oh, you
like,
go with
"Your
all the
nipples are-"
lesbos.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
did they-
I'm queer, so
Do they love the boobs?
they do. They
Yeah.
do. Although they don't make a fuss over it like guys do.
Right, that's
Yeah.
true.
Is it? Are guys a little too weird about it? Do they have to play it off?
They can be.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. Like some of them talk about it like, a piece of art, and then some of them are like, "Rah," Although, you know what? I've been to gay bars and have had women just come up to me and grab me. And I'd be like,
Whoa.
that is not okay. And they're like, you're in a gay bar. I'm like, consent is consent. She's like, but, we're women. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, I have to give you permission.
I've had a gay guy say that to me,
Oh,
like
yeah.
multiple times, and it's like he'll go for my boob, and I'm like, no, I don't want you touching my boob. He's like, I'm gay. I'm like, so go be gay. I don't. what does that mean to me? Or like try to make out with me and he's like, it doesn't matter, I'm gay. So then don't do it if it doesn't matter. And by the way, it's not really a thing that I want to do if you're like, I don't care if I do this. So don't stick your tongue in my mouth. Like, I have to have a tongue in my mouth now because you don't care about kissing me. Okay. Very sexy and hot.
I do have to tell you guys about this article that I saw today.
Uh-huh.
A woman was reading the post next to me on the subway, and she was like, "Did you see this? Brooklyn woman's bra stopped bullet in block party shooting."
Yeah.
Stop it. No.
Tell me you have a copy of the post right
Of course
now.
I do. You know I do.
Does your back hurt while he's looking for
Oh
that?
my God.
Looking for it. I already have it.
Of course you do.
This was in Brownsville, and she was 21 years old, Denisa Murdaugh. Mm-hmm. And
It got caught in there.
yeah, 11 people were wounded during a gang member was being shot at by 2 people. And 1 person died, 11 were wounded. She was hit in the back. It wasn't even the front. She was hit in the back, and the bra is so thick because she's a thicker woman, and it stopped the bullet where they kind of shook the bra and the bullet fell off.
Stop it.
Yeah.
How?
Yep.
How did it ricochet over other people, like on other people and then hit her? Like,
Well,
how?
they said there were still fragments in her skin, but it was just a flesh wound as opposed to like it penetrating because of her badass bra.
We were told to run, and when I turned around to see, I was hit in the back. Let's see. Murdaugh, they found the mostly intact bullet lodged in the strap, and it fell free at a mere touch. Murdaugh couldn't remember where she bought the bullet-resistant brassiere and what brand it was, but it cost her about $25.
I like that brassiere.
Yeah. She still had to go to Kings County Hospital to have a few small fragments fished out of the wound near the left
Ew.
shoulder, but walked away with little more than a flesh wound.
Do you think this woman next to you was like, hey, your boobs could save you? Because why is she saying that to you?
She was a little bit, she was the thing. She like the second I sat down next to her, she was like, "Hello, I'm Marie. How are you today?" And I was like, "Hi."
That's a little too much
She's like,
Adderall.
"Do you go to Times Square Church?" And I was like, "No." I was not about to tell her I was that I'm Jewish. I was not.
Why are
it was
people-
too early for that conversation.
Why are people talking at you on the train?
Maybe she is a little on the spectrum. I don't know. She was very sweet, and I was like, "Oh, she's really just trying to like
Right.
connect with the person next to her."
Rachel said she's a thing.
She,
It was a regular bra, said the mom. The threading of it, because we're thick girls, is thicker. The mom wasn't at the block party and only learned that her daughter was in attendance after her narrow escape. Believed that there must have been some support from above, which is always interesting to hear, right?
and below.
Yeah.
Oh, I was hoping once I read the article, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, did it like ricochet off the underwire?
Yeah.
Because that would be sick.
I thought maybe, the strap has a thing where you could like move. So I thought maybe it bounced off of that because that has metal in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's so scary.
It is scary.
I suddenly feel like I have small boobs.
You have lovely boobs.
That's all I wanted. Thank you.
Do you find women feeling inadequate about you, like during conversations?
Sometimes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Do you try to tell them they're fine?
Yeah, I think breasts are wonderful in all sizes. I mean, even the, what do they call them?
The unfortunates.
When you, in your stand-up, you talk about guys are watching too much porn, and they're doing their
I
ridiculous...
don't think I said that per se.
Are they?
Please let him paraphrase.
No, I just said that guys think porn is real.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so they're watching the right amount. They're just confused what they're watching.
Well, no, I specifically talk about like the vigorous rubbing of the clitoris,
Yeah.
and it's like that's not pleasurable for a lot of women.
They're punching it. They're blowing on it.
Oh yeah, they're smacking it. They're like, and I'm like, oh my
Are
god.
you serious? You've experienced the smacking of your clit?
Granted, if it's done correctly, it's actually kind of cool. Like if you do sort of a cupping of it,
That's so different.
But if you just smack it,
Ow.
like it's.
I
it's
flick
not.
it with my thumb and middle finger.
Oh.
Yeah, wake it up. You know what I mean?
It can
Everyone
be
in the
very
room.
sensitive.
Everyone in the room was very horrified just now.
Yeah, we all kind of went.
Yeah, we all felt it in our clits. Yeah, and we like to punch dicks. Now, how does your dick feel?
Speaking of unfortunates, you were talking in your stand-up about taking a young guy home, and he asked if his penis was big enough. Is anything sadder than that question?
Come on.
That dude, man.
You know what? The answer is no if you're going to ask.
Right.
No. Why are you asking me?
And what do you want? Like, just give me a script to read, and we'll go back and forth.
Yeah,
Your
and am
dick
I
is great. Is it? Yes. Are you sure? I am positive. I've seen many. Yours is incredible. Look, what
How
are you
about
doing?
like in response to that, I go, "Am I fat?"
Right.
And then just look you in the face.
Well, right. It's a lose-lose situation because I'm like, you're already in my bed. What is the point of you asking me this question?
Right.
It sounds medical. You know what I mean?
Are you ever honest? Like, I can make it work.
It's adequate.
There's things we can do.
I don't even remember what I said. I think I was just like,
Right.
Twitching.
Yeah, because what the fuck? And I don't even think it was small. Like, it was average. It was like,
That's the thing. Like, what do you want to hear? You're average? Like,
Right.
that's not small, but
I never understood titty fucking, but do you get that request a lot?
oh my God. Yeah, dude.
well, at least you don't have to.
That
At least
shit.
you don't have to smush it like an asshole. Like I'm holding. Like, look how far apart mine are, and like the request to fuck it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, but you're gonna have to help. Like, should we get duct tape?
What is it?
Slap a little Crisco up in there. Yeah.
Is it just is it like a power move? Like, do guys really find it sexy?
I actually
They
think
love that shit.
I
for
think
some
it
reason.
could be
Well, some guys.
hot. I think it really could be hot because you're just like, let me like put your dick everywhere on me.
Right.
Like, yeah, like I'll smush my titties. That's disgusting. I'm just holding on to them and like touching them at the same time. And your dick is right by my mouth, so maybe I could reach it. Like,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. But not like we did nothing. I'm not done. You know what I mean? Like, it's
No,
like, what else can we do? Let's titty fuck. But it's not like, oh, let's get it on. Take out your titties. Let's fuck.
I never do it as like the first thing, and I think the guys that I've been with are smart enough that they don't like just ask for that off the bat, or we might talk about it in sexting, but like, standard operating procedures, you go down on the woman, you make her come, then maybe she goes down on you.
I would understand that even less sexting that I'm titty fucking you.
Well, I don't. They may just be like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait this thing, me cooking them tits," and I'm like, "Great."
Where's my dick? I can't find it. Send. A little too descriptive.
I have to say though, I dated this guy once who was he was almost like a porntologist, if you want to call him that, and he would play me porn. He like had a space on his hard drive for like Rachel porn. And he would pick, curvy women because I preferred, and then curvy women is relative, right? You could be petite and be curvy, right?
Wait, so he got your preferences in a full. So he's looking for porn for you, and you didn't marry this person.
Well, it was weird seeing the
He's
other
polyamorous, so.
It was weird seeing Sarah porn and Beth porn. You try not to be immature, but it could bother you.
I had my own hard drive.
That's what she said.
But like, there's, when you're my size, you could do like kind of like tricks. I learned some things. I learned everything from porn, honestly. I talk
What could
about
you
that.
do with it?
Well, because if they're
juggling?
this big, you could just actually have the guy sit there and you can just, and you can,
Oh, massage your titties on
you
it.
know,
And
you
like,
can do this, you can do this, there's all
so just
sorts
for
of-
the people listening,
She's moving her tits around. And also, she can feed a small country. There's many things she can do.
talons. Thank
so
you.
you basically learned how to jerk a guy off with your tits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you use lube or
Yeah.
like yeah?
Silicone lube, the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do
Or baby oil. But don't use baby oil with the condoms. That'll break down, and it's also not good for the pH of the vagina.
All right.
Okay. PSA.
Thank you. The poly lifestyle. Did that ever get you in trouble? Do people act like they're so mature and they can't handle it after all? Or has it been going well?
I wouldn't say it ever got me in trouble. It just never got me a partner.
Right.
Yeah.
Aren't we all poly until we find Xerxes?
Right. Oh, caramba. How does she do it? I do follow you on social media.
Thanks.
Yeah, my girlfriend's mad.
I make a lot of people mad.
Rachel Paula Green. You can follow at the one Rachel Green, the number one.
Yeah, because you can't have Rachel Green because of Friends.
Yeah, that was Jennifer Aniston's name on Friends, and so I have to be the one Rachel Green on the social medias, unfortunately.
You know you've lived in New York a long time when you meet someone and halfway through the conversation realize you've had sex. I like that's the first time Rachel heard this. She wrote it. Interesting. That's the problem, by the way, when you live somewhere too long. Okay.
No, and we were at a festival. We were at like the New York Comedy Music Festival, and we're like standing outside the venue, like, chatting about sound check and stuff, and everyone's introducing themselves. And
You didn't introduce yourself.
yeah, of course I did. And well, no, it took us both a minute. I wasn't the only asshole. This was like 8 years ago when I was fully entrenched in the poly lifestyle, and I'm not poly anymore.
How do you forget it, Rachel? Yeah, I know. Rachel Big Tits. No shit. You're in my phone.
I'm in people's phone that way. Rachel Big Titty,
But I feel like, there was this guy who came into the studio a few years ago and was like, oh, yeah, we totally fucked back in the day. And I was like, no, we didn't. He's like, yeah, but we were both drunk. I'm like, I never got drunk, ever. And he's like, no, your house had a window. And I'm like, is that what my house had? Okay.
Your house? He literally said your house has a window?
Yeah, my apartment has a window. So he knows. He remembers. Yeah, we went to my place.
Because he's been fucking all those basement bitches. Like,
You don't forget a window.
So what I'm thinking is, he fucked you. We look alike, and we can
my
get
God.
mixed up.
Well, remember when you guys were on the cover of The Voice?
Yeah.
And people were like calling me up and they were like, Rachel, I'm so happy for you. That's fucking awesome. And I'm like, that's not me. Thank you.
Until the third call. Thank you.
Yeah, but you know what's funny is they
Thanks,
clearly didn't read not even like the headline.
Right.
I was gonna say.
Oh, you're dating a trans person, Rachel. Good to know.
Rachel got upset that her friends weren't too interested in not her. Yeah, did you read the article? No, very busy.
I just saw the picture, but congratulations. Thank you.
So we did a lot. I'll fill you in on what you did, and you fill me in on what
Wow.
I did. Yeah,
Excellent. But yeah, so the guy and I had sex, yes. I was like, what? We had sex, didn't we? And he's like, yeah.
And you came early, right?
Oh my God. It was in like a little room too.
With a window?
No.
Okay.
No, it was like an attic room.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the Instagram that you're alluding to. You don't mess around. We'll put these at keithandthegirl.com, of course. So everybody's looking at her asshole. And then it says, Mercury retrograde, eclipse season got me like, and there's her whole nude body. Here's another one.
By the way, going back a minute, I'm reading your thing. Andrea's writing, and that's happened to me. I was on a dating app, and the guy was like, we fucked, right?
That's great. What if we go out? What if we did? Here's the front of her. Again, naked, covering the nipples is the word mood. That's her mood that day. Middle fingers out, by the way. Will you come play with me? I have a show coming up. Be there, trust me. Words covering the nipples. And then this one, she decided just to go full artistic. It's legs out and the hand doing the prayer symbol covering the nipples. So you gotta go. You gotta go to the live show to see the nips. That's smart.
You had to hold that pose.
I do yoga.
Okay. All right. Cool.
That was for a body positive naked photo shoot called the Naked Photo Shoot.
Oh, cool.
I saw somebody on Twitter. She goes by @amore72mg, and she said, "I started commenting, get a job on all my daughter's IG pics." I think that's funny. Back to Rachel's Twitter. Found on the doorstep of my building this week. 1, human shit. 2, puke. 3, female condom. Progress is real.
Wow. Wait, how do you know? What?
That's people's most common question. How do you know it's a personal shit? I mean,
you know
the difference between a dog shit and a person shit.
You know what? I'm very glad I don't, because that means I didn't experience what you experienced. Female condom, that looks like a big
Garbage bag.
Okay.
No way around it.
Look, I'm sex positive, right? So I have tried them, but the sound effects alone, it's.
Oh, really?
It's just
like a plastic bag?
Yeah, it's like you're fucking a plastic bag. It's nice that there's an option, but of course, because it's for women, God forbid we should really concentrate on the design and,
Right.
But then if it's like a garbage bag, then you really are a cum dumpster.
Ooh.
I mean, listen, I have been without a garbage bag. Oops. But
Well, I was telling a story in my last show that, in college, I've always believed and practiced safe sex. And I was with this guy and we didn't have condoms and we tried to use the Ziploc bag. And those corners are sharp.
how long did you last?
There's not words.
10,
I don't even-
5. I mean, it was like 2 pumps, and I was like,
Holy
this is like maybe the opposite of safe sex if I'm gonna like.
I knew somebody who supposedly used foil
Come on.
on his dick.
Oh, come on.
I'm guessing he's smoothing out first, like on the table edge. But what the fuck?
Was that Charlie? I
Yes,
think
it
that
was.
Charlie, yeah.
That was Charlie.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. you have to assume rest in peace.
Oh, it like hurts. Oh,
The only guy I
just
can
thinking
talk to
about
at a
it.
waiter job, but eventually it becomes too much. He'd visit me when me and Henda were together, and I'd hide. And Henda would be like, "He's not here. I'm hiding in the bedroom. I'm in my 30s."
He was so special. He had a baby with this woman that he hated, and then he was so mad. But one day he was just drunk, and they fucked again. Like they would never fuck. They were just like taking care of this baby. Got pregnant again. I don't understand where his abortion rights are, but they had 2 babies. Then he brings this newborn over because he's got to, quote, babysit it. And he's like, oh, her nails are so long. Can you help me cut it? And I'm like, you have 2 babies. I've never had a baby. So I don't know why you think I know how to cut. I'm like, I can try, but I'm pretty sure, like, you know more baby stuff than me.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Like, why
you-
do you think I know how to cut baby nails more than you do?
Yeah, well, because he saw my boobs.
Also, why can't people use condoms?
Well, why can't he do a lot of things? You know what I mean?
No, but like people are like, oh, it doesn't feel as good. Oh, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what feels really good? Not having a baby.
But also, okay, so this was his wife. So it's like,
Oh.
but you have,
So he hated his wife.
oh yeah.
I mean,
But-
not
but-
that that's so unusual.
But you have no birth control? Like,
Yeah, nothing.
just, I don't, and neither one of you believes in abortions?
You got to hear the show that he was on. He was on with his buddy. Andrew's looking up the name of that show. I'll tell you. That's
Yeah.
in your VIP program. That is
The best episode ever. The best. He's talking about, like, because after that, he started spinning into a whole new fucking world. And he was already drinking every night. Now he's, like, adding Coke and, like, hotel robes. And he's waking up in the Dominican Republic with, like all this kind of shit. It was amazing. And he's talking, like, what are you going to do? Then they have an orgy. Like, it's just, it goes on. And he's like, fuck my wife. And I'm like, well, that's clear. Yeah.
it's episode number 12.
Wow,
We could have
wow.
retired at 12.
Wow.
That was, I think I won an Emmy. Marriage and Hookers is the title. So you figured out the plot. Charlie and Jose, that was his name, who don't like it when you bring up their mothers, are in the studio.
That was our description.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's talking about the mother of his 2 kids.
Yeah.
But don't talk about my mother. What'd your mother do? Taught you real well. Sorry. Your mother's amazing.
I'm reading a story. A Florida state trooper has been arrested for having sex with a 14-year-old girl, including in the back of his car parked in a public gas station. Highway Patrol Trooper Riley Swartz,
What is this right turn we just took? Fucking hell. We were just on marriage and hookers.
23 years old, was busted after the girl's parents found her journal detailing the numerous times the officer had sex with the youngster. He's like, I didn't know she had a journal.
Wow.
Grow up.
Wait, were they dating? Like,
It was consensual for what that means, but I honestly, I'm thinking the death penalty. I'm not joking. Your officer, fines are doubled. Death.
okay.
You're held to a higher moral standard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not confusion multiple times fucking a 14-year-old.
Yeah, and you're the one who can ask for ID. You have the authority for it.
Right.
Yeah. And you know the bullshit when it's like, oh, I left it at home.
They've been talking to each other since September 23rd, 2018.
About what?
They started having sex the following month.
Philosophy.
Yeah.
Right. The unidentified girl, now 15, told deputies she had sex with the officer in her home. The trooper admitted to having sex approximately 6 to 8 times, like he doesn't know.
How old is he?
Oh my God.
23.
Approximately. No, you know how many times you fucked.
Right. He says it was at her home and in the back seat of his vehicle.
I could see why she would think it's normal, because 23 for a 14-year-old, you're like, I am hot shit.
Right.
Oh, I mean, I
Yeah.
was doing that, but like in hindsight, gross.
Yeah.
Charged with 2 felony counts. What's that? The front and the back? I mean, why not 6 to 8 felony counts?
That's true, actually.
right? Why
Yeah.
2?
Yeah.
Lewd and lascivious
Good
battery involving sexual activity of a victim 13 to 15 years old.
Oof.
12 to 15, as if it matters.
That's like, because she's going through a whole. This is just the first phase of the things that she has to go through, because she's just like, my boyfriend's going to jail. My boyfriend, who has the authority to like take other people to jail, is going to jail. The guy that like probably gave me loving attention and, maybe not orgasms, because I doubt this guy can do that. But you have a sexual experience. You're just like waking up to this. It's got to feel good, and it's got to feel extra good, because a 23-year-old is not fumbling as much as a 14-year-old. So you're like, you're messed up. Then later you have to go, oh, that's not, oh, I see why everyone was upset. There's like realizations in waves.
He was fired. He's being held in jail on $20,000 bond.
That's not a lot.
How about held in jail on death? Death.
That's some expensive child porn.
Right. Death.
Yeah.
Why is it even a question? And picture you knew this guy, you hung out with him, you find out this information, you look back at all the conversations you had where you're fake bitching about women, you're drinking in a bar, and he had an opinion. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, they don't listen sometimes. They sure get cranky, don't they?
Yeah, they forget to take their ADD medicine.
Right. What is this new math? What? Conversational math.
Calculus.
An Indiana cop accused a McDonald's employee of taking a bite out of his McChicken sandwich because they didn't like police officers, but later admitted he was the one who actually started the snack and just forgot.
Okay, I did not follow that.
Yeah, I was looking at you to see if you were following as much as I wasn't.
No, I needed to recap within the first 5 words.
This is Marion County a sheriff's office. A guy works at Marion County Sheriff's Office in Indiana. He got a McChicken sandwich, opened it, he's saying, saw a bite was missing. Oh. Knew that's because these employees must hate cops. It's season of hating cops, right?
He was so high.
And then it comes to him after this fight that he actually is the one who ate it.
But he admitted it? Just walk away, man. You are done.
So he was high, so that's why he thought that?
I don't know the high part, but I'll tell you this. Death. Death. You would fight with somebody over your food being eaten that you just ate. You don't think there's going to be an accident at a traffic stop?
I mean,
death.
He's probably on some mushrooms if he really thinks that people are that out to get him.
I don't
that
care
they're
what
gonna
he's
take
on.
A bite out of his fucking sandwich.
Going to be on that thing again when there's a domestic dispute and an accident's going to happen with his gun. Death.
I think you're right, because it's not like it's not like you took a bike and you forgot it at home and you're like, oh shit, it's in my house.
Right.
It's on your breath.
Right.
So as you're yelling, you're like, wait.
Right.
Oh shit.
Sir, do this. Well, fuck me. I apologize.
It's a new breathalyzer.
Just shoot yourself right there. Just shoot yourself right there. Actually in the building, it's harder to clean it up in the parking lot, believe it or not. They can mop the floor easily. Just go, I fucked up.
Or wait until you come down and then make better decisions about your drug use next time.
Oh, my. No, this is.
I don't know.
Maybe don't accuse people while you're high, right?
I mean, but you don't know what the fuck, you know?
That should be the qualification. It should be harder to be a cop. It doesn't look that hard. I think you had to be a wrestler in high school. And you had to knock the books out of a kid's hand at least once a month. And now if they say, will you steal money too much? You go, no. I think that's the test. And then you're a cop. No. There's a vetting process.
Will you steal money too much?
Nah, I won't steal too much. Okay. You seem decent. Here's a gun. Here's a gun. Here's a sandwich, and you see a bite is missing. Did you eat it? No. Okay, you're hired. You did not eat it. We just brought it in and showed it to you. Very good. Will you steal money too much? You just asked me that. Okay, very good.
You passed.
You passed. I did just ask you that. Real quick, yeah. Did you eat the sandwich? The one you just asked me about? Oh, you're good. You're a detective now. Here's a rifle. Okay. A Georgia woman became so irate about being served cold French fries at McDonald's
Well, that's just.
that she fired a handgun.
Oh, okay.
Lillian Tarver got into an argument with an employee
She's trying to heat it up.
and a manager and squeezed off. I don't know who's right or wrong in this one. Like, just give me hot fries. They're hot enough, ma'am. Well, throw them in the microwave. What's the big fucking deal?
This lawyer corner that we have on Keith and the Girl is hilarious.
You definitely don't want to throw it in the microwave, though.
Yeah, that's
Then
true.
they get mushy.
Yeah.
Well,
Bring back the trans fat. We're doing trans everything else. Come on. Come on. Don't be transphobic. Let's have it. Why do you think your fries are still good? Throw up from your biscuits, KFC. Come on.
Why would you?
Why would you be so upset at trans fat? Why are you so upset
They
at
didn't under-
biscuits tasting good?
They didn't understand trans at that time. Maybe it'll come back now.
Okay. They were just being ignorant.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a non-binary biscuit, okay? So
Let me guess. The fat identifies as carbs. You know. It's too much. It's too much.
we're gonna die really soon.
We're leaving behind these jokes.
We're terrible people.
So are you dating anyone now?
No,
No.
no.
So you can just say you're poly.
I could. I do still occasionally get invited to parties, and then I'll, if I'm in the mood, I'll just go.
What kind of parties?
Oh, sex parties.
I mean, we know that.
Well, the parties that I would be invited to, they were like private parties. So there was like it was badass. Like people were like sex ninjas, and they were my friends. So it was like, if you didn't want to fuck, you knew you were still having like some great conversations with people and you're hanging out. It wasn't like going to a club and like some rando. It was very different from like the concept of like swingers where people will just like touch and then ask permission, or it's like, this is like, oh, you're my friend, I respect you, hey,
That's so fun.
would you like to have sex, what are you into, what's your boundaries,
How many friends do you have at these parties? Well, how many friends come all together?
hopefully they all come. Yeah,
Is that the funnest part of sex clubs? The puns.
we do get pretty funny actually. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing
Ask
too.
me no questions.
Poly people are smart. They're really smart. They're great communicators for the most part. I don't know if a private party would have like 20, 25 people max.
That's a great amount.
Is it tough to tell a friend you don't want to have sex though?
No, not if they're like well versed in like the rules of consent. It's like,
What's a good way to let someone down? Especially because you're at a sex party, so it's like, wait, you're here to like openly have sex with several people, just not me.
Right. You can get butthurt.
I mean, I guess it's I hate that
Here, I'll do it.
expression.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. Hey, Rachel, it's you again. I saw you at the last thing. We didn't get together. You look so hot.
Thanks.
You look like me. But anyway, would it be weird if we fuck?
No, it wouldn't be weird.
No, you gotta let me down. Oh, okay.
I'm
Oh,
getting into it. It's a
I
soft-
already
it's a
feel
soft
good.
thing, yeah.
Okay.
No, I think you're beautiful.
Well, duh.
And I actually would not like to have sex with you.
That's how you let me
I don't know. I would never say that. No, I'm just.
I actually would prefer, in all earnestness, not to engage in sex with you.
Can I tell you? I didn't feel anything until I was like, wait, that hurt, and I don't even.
No, I don't usually turn down sex that often. So I guess that what have I said? No, I would just.
It's hard to look in my face and like reject it, right?
You're adorable. I could never reject you. I would be like, fine, just sit on my face.
Let's do a role play real quick. Are my tits big enough?
No, I've just said, I'd rather not at this time, or I might actually put it back to me and be like, you know what, I'm a little bit tired now. I'm actually just watching right now.
You know what I would say? Sorry, I'm already blowing someone.
But then it would be
Right. No, but that's what's funny about me.
sorry, I'm already blowing.
They're like, but you're not. But you're making this weird. Please don't insult the guy. I am.
He's so small you can't even see it.
Rachel, you can follow online the number one, Rachel Green on Twitter and Instagram. The one Rachel Green. The website is rachelgreen.nyc. That's the cool domain extension. I like it.
Thank you. I mean, I'm a New Yorker at heart, probably not going to go anywhere. And
How long have you been in New York?
.com was taken up by an Australian woman. You
No.
would think it would be taken up by Jennifer Aniston fans. But
Yeah. What? How long have you been in New York?
my whole life except
okay.
for college.
Well, I think that counts as a New Yorker, sure.
Wait, where did you grow up?
We're definitely not Boston. I grew up on Long Island.
Oh, you're the Long Island me. I'm running with this.
You know what we should do?
I used to talk like this a little bit, and I didn't even know that I talk like this until I moved up to Boston, and they obviously speak the opposite of us, sort of. And then I was like, oh, both of these accents are terrible, so I have to find something in the
Wow,
middle.
you really got rid of it.
Thank you.
We should do a video of a movie of all the different hendas out there.
Ooh.
You know, but it starts with like a tiny AA cop, and then you keep meeting all these different hendas, and it's Triple H. And you're like, these can't be real. And then there's like, people wonder, is this CGI? And
Well, after the Village Voice incident, we're gonna call it, right? Then Rebecca Trent saw a picture of me that was actually a Mindy photo, and
No, I put that up.
Oh, you put it
I
up.
saw that picture and I was taken aback. I was like, oh, I didn't know me and Rebecca had a baby.
right.
right.
That was so weird.
And there's occasionally pictures of you or her that I'm like, that's not me. But
I didn't
then
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should stop putting dicks in my mouth online so you don't freak out so much. Did you ever have a bad time at a sex club, like bad sex or like someone smelled or?
Well, I would say the one time was actually at a sex club, like a swingers club. That was like not my preferred place that I would go. And it was called Le Trapeze. And it was actually based on Plato's Retreat, which back in the day was like a hot sex club in the 70s. Right. And they have like, all sorts of places where you can fuck, right? And so my friend was like, you should come to this just so you experience it. And he and I were like, buddies and partners. And, I trusted him sexually. So I was like, all right, worst case scenario, I'll fuck him, right? And
I love it. Worst case, I'll fuck you. Let's go.
But we go in and it's like legit everything looks and feels and smells like it's from 1970. And I'm like, ugh. And they give you a towel that's like this big.
Like a washcloth.
Yeah, like a washcloth for you, I guess, to, put your genitals when you want to go somewhere. But like we walk in and there's...
like so you can sit on it? I thought to wash up after.
Multi-purpose, I guess. Whatever your preferred usage is, right? And we go in and there's like a hot tub and it just looks like...
Jizz is all
like
up in it.
Bubbling cum. Yeah, right? I'm just like... right? And then I see this guy just straight up double dipping into these two women and not changing a condom. And I'm just like, oh, and I'm like, I'm just freaked out because I'm like, I'm safe about my sex. And I'm like, And then we're like, okay, let's just go in this room and we'll just, they had like the mirrors on the ceiling. So, it'll be like, it's increased stimulus. It's fun. It's cool. And then it was like this woman just started, touching me. And I was like, I just, sort of gently pushed her hand away. I was like, okay, I'm not into you. Okay. And then he and I go back at it. And then she does it again. And I look at her and I go, no. Like, it was just like,
yeah, that's weird.
Like, how are you not getting it?
Right.
And she was like, ah. And I'm like, yeah. So it was the lack of consent and hygiene that really freaked me out.
But did you fuck in the club?
Oh, he and I fucked, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Is it worst case yet? Is it worst case? Is it worst case yet?
It was worst case several times. On the chair, on the floor. But yeah, we did not engage with anyone else because I was just like, wow, these people have no regard for like boundaries, consent, protection.
That's weird.
All those things that are kind of crucial to, group sex.
Rachel leaves and they're like, prude.
Yeah. I don't know why you would want to take on that responsibility as a club. Like, I would want to keep things organized just so people don't get things from here.
Again, when I was in the poly community, it was like, they were brilliant. I mean, they would like at the door, they would give you some of these parties, they would give you like a pouch. And inside the pouch would be like condoms, lube, mints, and like a wash, like a,
That's so
a
nice.
disposable, wipey thing. And I was like, this is brilliant.
I went and there was finger condoms, which I was like, oh,
that's cool.
Finger condoms. Well, it was like an all female bodied place, and I was like, oh my God, well, who knew? Now I know.
I put on one of those long gloves that you use to impregnate cows.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
you guys matched on OkCupid.
Yeah,
Just
we
so
did.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask you about strap-ons.
Who knew I liked to be fisted so much?
How often do you bring out the strap-on?
Not very often.
Seems to be a bigger decision than I think people think about. I think people see like, oh, you have a strap-on, you're using it constantly, but it seems to be like
Holidays.
yeah.
I mean, it does require a lot of, not a lot, but it requires setup, you know.
Do you set it up before? Are you like in your pants in it already usually?
No. I mean, ironically, I've used it more on men than I have on women. Yeah. Mine is sort of a beginner because I originally bought it for, to use with women I was dating.
Is it a turn off if a guy's not into it?
No, I don't really like doing it to dudes. Only because,
How's it come up?
well, they ask.
It's just,
you
is it
know.
on your dresser? Like, I wouldn't even know to ask. Do you know what I mean? Like, you obviously have a strap on. Let's do that. Like, how?
I don't know.
How would they know?
I think like attracts like. I mean, we're 99%, so you probably
Right.
like a strap on. I don't know.
Well, now 98%. You're not even into it.
Well, don't you get to the point where you're like, where a toy comes out, and if one toy comes out, like you might see the drawer, you might go, what else you got?
Well, I see a vibrator and I'll go. And obviously, you have a strap on.
I mean, also, like, if guys are really into anal play, they tend to sort of stick their ass in your face or, like, stick it near your hand or direct you or whatever. It comes up in conversation. If you're, having sexy conversation, what are you into? So why it bothers me with men is, and sometimes women too, I don't like to be in charge. I can be in charge some of the time, but generally speaking, I actually prefer to be more submissive or switch.
And so once you strap on, it's just an expectation that you're in charge?
Yeah.
I could see that.
And a lot of people, once they become submissive, it's hard for them to then become dominant. So the men would just get very sort of, and I was like, oh, can you just fuck me now? And then they couldn't,
Huh.
Plus, I guess, I don't know, maybe for a man, do you feel like,
Well, it's weird that your strap on is bigger than me. It gives me a head trip. That's all.
Oh, how big is your strap? Oh, is that too much?
it's not that big. It's not that big. Other ones I've used other ones at parties. That I mean, the first one I used was amazing.
That sounds really scary. That sound.
That was a scary
about
sound.
your dick. Yeah,
that was the microphone. But
It comes with a free trip to the
no,
hospital.
it was kind of amazing because my friend, I went to a party. I went with goals, and because I'm a productive fucker, as I like to say. And my goals, this was early on. My goals were to go down on a woman and to use a strap on. Okay. And I assumed in my mind that the strap on would be used on a woman.
Right.
But I was standing in the kitchen.
So you're already hooked in.
No, I had gone down on my friend. She had a great time, wonderful. And
You can ask her, rave reviews.
and I'm sort of like standing in the kitchen, sipping champagne and having like a little, moment with my friend. And he's like, oh, so how's the party going for you? Like we're at a seminar or something. And I'm like, great, and I accomplished this and this, and this is what I have next on my agenda. And I was like, I'd really like to try using a strap on. And he goes, oh, well, why don't you use one on me? And I was like, oh, what? Like, I was so excited that I was going to get to use it on a man.
Right.
It's like, I hadn't even occurred to me at the time. And then he goes, yeah, and I brought one with me.
But what?
He had brought his own strap on, and it was huge and flesh colored. So the visual alone of me naked with the strap on and the giant boobs and the giant cock, it was kind of amazing.
How'd you do?
I felt like John Cena. Yeah.
Did you find the hole pretty okay?
I did.
Yeah.
I tried to be gentle because I was like, this cock is humongous and that's a little butthole. But, so I kind of,
Little by little.
get into
Did you eventually pound?
I had a nice stroke going after a
Nice.
while,
Yeah,
I mean, it's easier to, pound a vagina because they're self-lubricating,
Yeah. What's the secret, or what's your secret to going down on a woman?
I just do what I like done to me and I listen.
Do unto others, right?
Yeah.
That's not helpful when the person has a dick. Come on, talk to the dicks. Come on.
Okay. So I would say I would start with the clitoris.
They say tongue the Bible. Is that true? In the beginning. Is that real?
I was like, I don't even know what this means.
Say the alphabet backwards.
You assume that I know the Bible. No, people forget that the clitoris is very delicate and sensitive. So I would say, you warm it up and you give it a little
Like a hairdryer.
A little loving, and just make sure everything gets nice and wet. Actually, that first time though, sorry to point, I was using a dental dam. So I was going a little more vigorous than I normally would to get through the layer of.
Wait, that first time, was that the first time you went down on a woman?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I still made her come. And I
you
think
said
I even had gloves. So anyway, for me personally, what I like is the stimulation of the clitoris, and then, get things nice and going, and then you get in there and you get a little G-spot, and then,
So that's not a
the
myth.
dual action.
So that's not a myth, the clitoris?
It's not. You can suck on it too. I like that. The sucking and then like you
I don't know that I
you
like
motorboat the clitoris.
sucking. It seems a little hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
You know what I
that's
mean?
the thing.
Yeah.
Not everybody likes it.
But you said you might not. You're assuming I know the Bible, but I assume that you know some Jewy stuff because you have. Well, because you have my face, and also you have a chamsa on your back with the word chai on it, which means life. So what's up with that?
What is it? If you see the tattoo, you have to give her $17? What's the rule?
18.
18.
Every letter in the Hebrew alphabet is a number. So the chai is chet yud, and yud is 10, and chet is 8, because it's just the 8th letter and the 10th letter.
I see. And
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. You have it on your back.
I was like, oh, it's spiritual. It's protecting me.
No, you knew that $18. Anyway,
Yes,
oh,
you gave double chai when you went to the bar mitzvahs
Right.
and the bat mitzvahs. That's what you had to get. My mother was like, if I have to write another fucking check for $36, I swear to God. Yeah.
She got it. She thought it was funny. She thought it was a middle finger on her back. Turns out it's some Hamza hand. Who knew?
Well, do you believe in chamsa?
Yeah, I do. I like it. I figured, if I'm going to get a tattoo, get something that, you won't not believe in when you're
Did you know what
80.
you were going to get?
No, I did. I'm not very religious, but I'm spiritual. I did study the Kabbalah.
Well, chamsa isn't so much religious. It's more like a superstition.
Yeah.
Because it's
You have the evil eye.
Yeah, my family. This is how I learned chamsa. They're like, oh, newborn baby, so cute. Chamsa, 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 chamsa. He's like, oh, you look so pretty today. Chamsa, chamsa. And they would put their hand in my face.
So you don't jinx it?
Chamsa, like, oh shit, I just said something nice about you. Let me kind of take it out. They might as well spit on me. They think they gave me the evil eye. They think by calling me pretty, I will go and have a bus hit my face,
Right.
and then I'm no longer pretty ever.
Well, actually, Hamza's like spitting, right?
Chamsa.
So apparently I was just being true to brand and I have spit on my back. Fabulous.
Is that your only tattoo?
I also have the Cancer symbol of my zodiac sign.
Oh, okay.
That's a little basic bitch. I admit that, but yeah.
What does being a Cancer mean to you?
Being intuitive, sensitive, and that kind of thing about my nature.
I'm a Sagittarius version of you. What do you think?
Figures, yeah. No.
I got the Aries ram on my back, and then they changed all the symbols, and I had to exit out. Now I'm a Leo. Oh, boy. Looks kind of weird. It's hard to explain.
Do you not find yourself compatible with some signs?
Sagittarius. No.
We're opposite each other.
Well, no, ironically, both of my parents are Sagittarius, and I find Sagittarians. I mean, look, we're not going to have a whole astrology thing here, and you guys may think I'm a kook, but we
already do. So.
Yeah, that's fine. But your moon sign and your rising sign also play a big part.
All right,
in
I
your
have
whole...
Sagittarius in that too. Shout out to Julia Solomon. And you know what? That's not a good face that you just made at me. I think being a Sagittarius is fantastic.
No, I think all the signs have different qualities that are awesome.
Everybody,
They're just not compatible with me.
everybody has value.
Listen, you're named after a tumor. Suck my dick.
What?
Cancer.
Oh my God!
Come on, Rachel.
I was like, Rachel. There's a tumor named Rachel.
No,
but-
it's Rachel.
Rachel,
This
yes.
astrology stuff, by the way,
Yeah.
this was the 1%.
Ah.
Yeah. Everybody, let me tell you something. Follow Rachel online, the #1 Rachel Green, Twitter and Instagram. All right.
Okay, and if you're following one, you think that you're following the other. You got to follow both of us. So look for Chemda and look for Rachel Green.
Right. You might not know who's who.
Yeah. Just follow both, just in case.
And spread the word. That's how this show keeps going. Thank you very much.
You.